Hey everybody, it's Mike with Rebound Athletic Repair again, and we've got a job here on the bench that's a pretty common job, and typically I would fix it on my machine because it's a little bit quicker, but it's a great opportunity to show you how to use one of the most common repair tools, and that's a sewing awl. It's super easy to use. Anybody can do it. It's small enough you can carry it in a repair bag, in your hockey bag, and I would highly recommend it. You can use it for repairs like this. If you have pads with traditional straps sewn into the gusset, if those straps break and you need to replace them, sewing awl is perfect for that. You really need a heavy-duty machine to get it in there if you were to use a machine, and you can just do it super quickly with the sewing awl. So this is a great tool to have, but not everybody knows how to use it, so I'll show you how to do that. So let's do that. We'll start there quickly. So we'll do a quick anatomy of the Speedy Stitcher Sewing Awl here, and then I'll show you how to thread it and use it. So typically this has a bobbin in the bottom, which you can kind of insert and keep in there, but I change thread colors all the time depending on the material I'm using, so I never actually use the bobbin. I just use the thread. It's got a hole right here, little pin, a channel with another hole here on top, and then the longer strong needle here at the end also has a channel in it, which is important. You'll need to know that. So, sorry, this got a little gunked up with wax there. This is all waxed thread too, which you'll want to use. I'll put a link to the Speedy Stitcher and the thread in the description so you can get some thread or the stitcher if you want to do that later. So to thread it, you're just going to take the end of the thread, and from the inside you're going to push it through the hole, through the channel at the top, and then you're going to go from front to back right here with the awl, and then you'll just leave yourself about 1 inch of thread at the top is all you'll need to start. All right, you'll take the cap, screw the cap back on, okay, get it nice and tight, and then here's the material here. So kind of in the interest of time, I've done most of this myself already. I didn't think you'd want to see me going, all this way. It took a couple minutes. So, but I'll show you how to start it here. So what I usually do is, this is a piece of jenpro. It's exactly 1 inch wide, and I'm covering the entire circumference of the thumb here just to cover all that wear area and strengthen it a little bit. And I like using these binder clips. You can just get them at Office Depot. They're perfect for just holding the material in place, especially for curved pieces like this. They're awesome. So all right, so the first thing you'll want to do is you'll take your sewing awl and you are just going to push it through the material. You might have to kind of twist it and wiggle it a little bit, but you're going to pull it all the way through, and then you are going to find your material. There's the end of it right there, and you will pull it out. So kind of take a little note of how much you'll need. For me, I need about 1.5 inches of material, and I usually like to double or triple it, just depending on how much, on how long it is. And the reason for that is you're going to want to tie a knot in this thread off at the end, and the more lace you have to do that, the easier tying it off is. All right, so that's the first thing you'll do, is you will just get a good amount of lace at the end, and then the next thing you'll do is you'll go back here to the sewing awl, and you are just going to wrap the thread around this little pin about 3 times, and then give yourself some extra lace here. So you'll want to wrap it around, because when you pull the thread back through, this helps give the thread some tension so you can make a nice strong stitch. I'll show you what I mean here in a second. So, all right, I'm going to take my binder clip, I'm going to move it to the end and get it out of my way. All right, so here for our first stitch, what we're going to do is we're going to pull the needle back through. We'll go about 1/4 inch or so, and we'll push it through. Be careful of your fingers. I've poked mine several times. All right. So now here we are, and then once it's through, you're going to take your awl and you're going to pull it back a little bit, maybe just a little bit, until you have a loop here at the end. Once you've got a loop, you're going to take your thread, you're going to pull it through that hole from bottom to top. All right, take your left hand, grab the thread so it's tight, and then you're going to pull the awl back through and you're going to pull, again, pull on both ends so you make a nice tight stitch. All right, that's how easy it is. And then you'll just go again. You will go another 1/4 inch or so, punch it through, make your hole, make your loop, I'm sorry. Push the material through, or push the thread through, and again, make it tight. Again, super easy. I know I've said I used it for boot straps, but you can use it on all sorts of repairs. If I've seen, I've used it in a pinch when a catch glove wrist strap has started to come off a little bit. You can kind of get in there with the sewing awl, and you can fix that. It's just such a common tool, so easy to use, especially for you goalies that like younger goalies that may travel. You're not, if something happens to your gear, you can't go buy new stuff. You got to be able to fix it on the road. So having the awl here and knowing how to use it is just the perfect thing. All right, so here we are at the end of the material. We're gonna close off our stitch here. Actually, you know what? I'll do one more, then I'll close it off after that, just so it kind of hold it and pin it down. All right. Again, be careful of your fingers. The end is really sharp, and if you're not careful, you'll poke your fingers as you're putting the material through. You'll kind of drag your knuckles across the tip. That's super painful, so just be really careful when you're using it. All right, so here we are at the end, and we're kind of to the end of this material. It's sewn down, but we want to do at least one more stitch over the top of that to hold the edge of the material down. So here we go. We're going to go past the material, wiggle it through. Okay, so now we're through, and what we'll do now is we will take the thread that we wound around the top of the pin and let that go loose. And then the material that we've got, or sorry, the thread that we've got here on the sewing awl, we are going to pull on that thread from the top. And you pull from the top because obviously the top is pulling down through the lacing, and you want to start pulling some extra lacing out. Just a little tip: don't pull it if you're able to. If you've got enough room, when you're pulling, pull it up. Pull it in an upward motion. When I first started, I started pulling through the side a lot, and that's a great way to break a needle. Sometimes it'll catch, the thread will catch a little bit. You'll end up flexing the needle too much. It'll just break, and then that's kind of a pain in the butt. So yes, pull from the top until you've got, that's good, quite a bit of extra. I'll cut it. Again, cut it a little far away from the needle, so if you need to use that thread again, you just got something easy to pull on. All right, then you'll just pull your sewing awl out. And then here from the bottom, we are just gonna tie a knot there. One more knot. Cut it off, and there you go. All right, so now it's completely covered, it's a super strong stitch. That stitch isn't gonna go anywhere. It's gonna hold that material for a long time. So hope that was really helpful to you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you want to see videos on how I do other repairs, leave those in the comments too. I'm happy to show you everything I do. Thanks, you guys have a great day.